So allegedly, Nolan did leave the island, and he went back to Wyatt's house for a pool party. And during that pool party, there was an altercation between Wyatt, Nolan, Evan, and somebody else. And apparently they beat Nolan to death with some sort of bar or pole. There are people that are putting out witness statements stating that they were there and they saw Nolan spitting up blood, and that these boys it on Nolan. They are saying that Evan's mother knew about the whole thing. And allegedly, they took Nolan's body back to the water. They're saying that this is the reason why it pinged on land at that house before they found that phone. This is why that boy told his daddy that Nolan was like a brother to me. Was like a brother to me when he showed up to get his car. It's because they already knew he was gone. Is this the reason why they needed dental records? Because he was unrecognizable? This case is starting to bust wide open, and we all knew that something else happened to Nolan. Now the question is, which of the parents helped those kids?
You already know the basics of this case. Nolan Wells, 18-year-old, disappears after a 4th of July trip to Horn Island, and 2 days later, he's found dead. But this week, one photo changed the conversation. If it's authentic, it could challenge the timeline investigators have been working with from the beginning. So what does the photo actually show? What's been verified, and what's simply speculation? Let's break it all down. Here's the center of the storm. Social media users have begun circulating a photo that allegedly shows Nolan Wells at a pool party on the mainland in Jackson County, sometime before 1 in the morning on July 5th. Not on Horn Island, not stranded, not missing. At a pool party with people around him, hours after he was supposedly left behind. If that timestamp is accurate, it directly contradicts the timeline everyone has been working with. The official account has always been simple. Wells stayed behind on Horn Island around 3 in the afternoon on July 4th. His friends left without him, and he was never seen again until his body was recovered 2 days later. This photo, if legitimate, suggests something else entirely. It suggests he made it off that island. It suggests he was alive, mobile, and around other people well into the early hours of July 5th. Attorney Ben Crump, who represents the Wells family, has shared this photo publicly as part of the broader case discussion. But here's where you need to pay close attention, because this is the part a lot of people are getting wrong. Crump has not stood up and declared this photo proof that Nolan was alive on July 5th. He's been careful on the record to frame it as a development the public should be aware of, not a confirmed fact. He's explicitly said these are claims still awaiting verification, and that people should be able to tell the difference between confirmed information and things circulating online. So why does it matter so much if even Crump isn't calling it proof? Because it reframes the entire timeline. It shifts the biggest question in this case from what happened to Nolan on the island to what happened to Nolan after he supposedly left it.
But said it's not true that he stayed on Horn Island. She said that everyone, including Nolan, left and went to a pool party at Evan's house, which wasn't over until 1 a.m. She said at the pool party that Nolan got into a fight with Andre, Evan, and Wyatt, and that Warren was recording and laughing, saying, "Get him." She said that Evan's mom came out yelling and told everyone to leave, but that Nolan's friend wouldn't let him leave. She saw him gasping for air and spitting up red liquid, and that she did try to help him. She said that now Nolan's mom knows because she told her everything yesterday. The person who posted this, she said, y'all read this comment for yourselves. I don't know if any of this is true, but it's not hard to believe due to the way they've been moving and acting suspicious, like they have nothing to hide.
Now here's where the story gets messier, because almost as fast as this photo spread, so did the pushback. A reverse image search reportedly traces the photo back to an Instagram post from a teenager named Evan Knoll. And that post had its own timestamp and its own caption, one that simply read, "Summer 26, posted with a marker showing it had gone up 21 hours before it was found. That detail matters because it raises a serious question. Was this photo actually taken on the night in question? Or is this an older photo? Or one from a completely unrelated gathering that got swept up into the case because it was convenient or because someone thought they recognized a face in it. No investigator, no news organization, no official source has confirmed the date this photo was taken. No one has confirmed that the person in the pool is actually Nolan Wells. At this stage, everything about that photo, who's in it, when it was taken, and whether it has anything to do with July 5th, remains unverified. This is the tension running through this entire case right now. On one side, you have a grieving family and their legal team saying the details don't add up and demanding that every possibility be examined. On the other side, you have a wave of social media speculation running ahead of the actual evidence, sometimes conflating photos, rumors, and secondhand accounts into something that sounds far more concrete than it actually is. The pool party photo isn't circulating alone. It's tangled up with another piece of contested evidence, a video that had already been spreading before the photo surfaced. That video appears to show some kind of argument or altercation happening on the island on July 4th. Crump has said publicly that he believes he can hear Nolan's voice in that footage, specifically what sounds like someone demanding the return of their phone. He said other young people who were present identified the voice as Nolan's, but that claim has been directly disputed. One of the young men allegedly present in that video, Trekiston Shepard, has come forward with his own account, saying that the voice people are hearing is actually his, not Nolan's. He says the argument was with his girlfriend, that another person got involved, and that things escalated before family and friends stepped in to calm it down. He says he was the one, not Wells, at the center of that clip. And, to complicate things even further, another friend of Wells, a young man named Javen Williams, has also pushed back on the idea that the voice belongs to Nolan, saying it doesn't sound like him at all. So you have two competing claims about who's actually in that footage, and now a second piece of disputed media, the pool party photo, layered right on top of it. This is exactly why so many people are confused about what's fact and what's rumor in this case. The claims keep multiplying faster than they can be verified. Threaded through all of this is the ongoing mystery of Nolan's phone. His mother has said she used a location tracking app to find the device, and that it turned up not with Nolan, but at the home of one of the friends who had been on the boat with him. That alone raised eyebrows. Why would a phone end up somewhere its owner never went, if that owner was truly stranded and alone on a remote island? The family has also raised concerns that content may be missing from the phone. They've said it was unusual not to find any saved photos or videos from that day, given how often Nolan documented moments like this. Whether anything was actually deleted and by whom has not been established, but it's one more loose thread in a case that already has several. Layer the pool party claim on top of the phone mystery, and you can start to see why Crump and the family aren't satisfied with the initial framing of this case as a simple accident. Their argument isn't that they've proven foul play. Their argument is that too many details contradict each other for anyone to responsibly close this case out as an open and shut drowning. Now let's separate out what's actually confirmed, because that list is still fairly short. Officially, Wells was last seen around 3 in the afternoon on July 4th on Horn Island. His friends returned to the mainland without him. His family reported him missing that night. Search efforts involving the Sheriff's Department, the Coast Guard, and the Department of Marine Resources ramped up over the following day. His body was recovered in the water off the island on the morning of July 6th. The Sheriff's Department has said it suspects drowning, but has not released an official cause of death. Both the state's autopsy and an independent one, commissioned by the family and paid for in part by Colin Kaepernick, have been conducted, but toxicology results are still pending, and that's the piece everyone is actually waiting on. Nothing in the official record currently supports or denies the idea that Nolan was seen at a mainland pool party on July 5th. That claim exists entirely in the space between social media speculation and the family's public statements, a space Crump himself has said should be treated with caution until it's verified. If, and this is a significant if, the pool party photo turns out to be authentic and accurately dated, it would mean Nolan somehow got off a remote island that's only reachable by boat appeared at a gathering on the mainland, and then somehow ended up back in the water off Horn Island by the morning of July 6th. That's not a small detail. That's a completely different sequence of events than the one investigators have been working from. It would also mean a lot of people, whether family friends, witnesses, or the friends who were on the original boat trip, would have information they haven't yet shared publicly. And it raises the uncomfortable question Crump has been circling around from the beginning. If Nolan really did make it off that island alive, what happened between then and the moment his body was found? That's the gap this case keeps returning to. Not what happened before 3 p.m. on July 4th. What happened after? As of right now, none of this has been confirmed. Not the photo's authenticity, not its timestamp, not the identity of the person in it. The video's disputed voice hasn't been resolved either, with two young men now offering conflicting accounts of who's actually speaking. And the toxicology results that could finally give investigators and this family a real answer are still pending. What we do know is that this case is not slowing down. Every few days brings a new claim, a new photo, a new statement from someone connected to that trip. Crump has said he'll continue sharing verified developments as they come in, while urging people to separate confirmed facts from witness claims and online speculation. That's good advice for anyone following this story right now, because the gap between what's rumored and what's proven has never been wider. We'll be tracking every update in this case as it develops, including whatever the toxicology results ultimately reveal. If you want to stay on top of this story as new information comes out, make sure you're subscribed to this channel.